Hello, this is Dan, and I want today to show you my desk and to talk about one particular item. Okay, so this is my desk, lots of things. From all of those things, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about this thing. So, just so you see where it is standing, it's standing front and center next to my camera. If my phone is here, it's usually here. So, what is this? So, what is this? It's a Pomodoro timer. It's a timer that you can set up to measure time. You set it up for how long you want it to be activated, and then it starts counting the time down. Now, there are lots of apps like this. I mean, basically, like maybe I'll make it into a little side point. What is the Pomodoro method? The Pomodoro method says if you have a really long time and you say, I'm going to focus for the next 4 hours, that's really tough. So what do we say instead? Let's break it into smaller components. 15 minutes, 25 minutes, and we say, let's just decide to focus on that amount. Much more achievable, right? If you say, let me focus for 4 hours, no distraction, no email, no nothing, really tough. If you say, let me focus for 15 minutes, that's achievable. And then you do 15 minutes, you take a little distraction, and then you come back. So the idea is that if you have a 4-hour window and you say to yourself, I'll try to focus the whole time, you'll never get it. But if you do 15 minutes yes, 3 minutes no, or something like that, then you'll get more focus. Okay, so that's the Pomodoro method. Don't have too big of objectives, have smaller objectives and track them and make sure that they're achievable. Okay, so I like that approach. Now, in general, I don't have a lot of problem to focus. And I have this ritual where I come to the office, I make my coffee, and I start working on something important that I want to work on today. And that is no problem. I give myself about half an hour, sometimes an hour, depending on what I want to start with. I aim for an hour. And for that part, I don't need any reminders. But then during the day, I sometimes have periods where I could focus. I have meetings that get canceled. I have holes in my schedule. Sometimes they're more predictable, sometimes they're less predictable. And when that happened, when I have these windows of potential focusing, I could answer email. I always have much more email than I can. I need to kind of do something that gets me to focus and do creative work rather than respond to email or read the news. And there are lots of Pomodoro apps online. And you could say, well, in those moments, why don't you just think to yourself, oh, I have a half an hour now, let me open my Pomodoro app and start it. That doesn't happen very often. In psychology, we think about two models. By the way, I'll put this here so, you can see the beautiful color. In psychology, we have these two basic models for when we remember things: recognition and recall. Recall is when something happens in our mind and it pops up. You're driving and you say, oh, let me think about retirement, let me think about my health, let me think about productivity. Recall is when you see something and that reminds you. As an example, we all have lots of pictures of lots of loved ones on our phones. How often do we actually look at those pictures and being reminded of them? On the other hand, take 2 of these pictures, print them, put them on your desk. Very quickly, you'll think about those people many more. Counting on us to remember things in right time and to act on it is a very low probability. On the other hand, if we see something, we're reminded. And actually, religion has a lot of those reminders, if you think about it. Whatever religion you can think about, there's all kinds of physical reminders. So recall is saying, I'm not thinking about everything. I see something, it reminds me. I see a picture of a loved one, I'm reminded I see this. And this is why I actually prefer, in all the movement to everything being an app. There's lots of apps. I'm using quite a few. I think they've changed our lives. Nothing bad about apps. But, well, some bad things. But anyway, but they've created a lot of benefits for us. But there are some things that I want to be front and center. And I don't need this to be front and center for my morning routine, because I come to the office, everything is under my control, and I think about it. By now it's a routine. Come to the office, get coffee, start with something that the most important task for me for the day. That's what I do. I come, coffee, start with the thing that in the evening I want to feel that I have made some progress on. And for that I don't need any reminder. I don't need to open anything. I don't need to remind myself, and it's kind of been a routine for a very long time. But what happened during the day? What happened when I have time during the day to do something? This particular reminder, sitting front and center, is a reminder. I said, there's this kind of reminds me. This for me is a reminder of saying focusing, productivity, only 15 minutes. That's what I usually set it for. Maybe it's time to move to 20. So I think that for all of us, the world is trying to get our attention all the time. Email, notifications, social media, the news, lots of things are coming, and it's tough to fight all of those things and focus. And we need to figure out, how do we get control? And I think the Pomodoro method is a way to get some control over this, and having a physical reminder is also good. By the way, if you are feeling that your attention is not going very well, that you feel distracted and so on, and you start using a Pomodoro method, or even put a regular timer and so on, you will notice that in the beginning it will be difficult. Many of us are so used to getting distracted every 5 minutes. When you look at data, people do lots of task switching. By the way, people think that you do task switching and you come back and it's okay. No. Task switching is very, very bad for our attention and focusing. So if you start trying to reclaim some of your attention time and focus time and so on, and do a timer or use one of those apps or use one of those devices, there are many of them out there, you will see that in the beginning it will be difficult. It would feel like a really long time, and you would realize that, oh my goodness, I can't even focus for 5 minutes straight. It takes a while. We looked at how long it takes people to be unaddicted to checking their phones all the time. It takes about 2 weeks. So it will take some time to get used to it, but it's a very worthwhile exercise. So I would say, test your attention, see where you are, start getting good at this, and then if you really want to do it, get some physical device that would help you focus. If you have my morning routine, you would not need it for the morning, but for those unpredictable spots during the day where all of a sudden you have some time and you want to make sure that you are using it the right way. Lots more things to say about attention. I will maybe end with one thing. There was an experiment in which people were solving math problems and got paid for those math problems. And their phones were on the side, and from time to time the phone rang or buzzed. And the question is, what would happen to the quality of ability to solve math problems? And it went down quite dramatically. So people were trying to solve math problems, they heard the vibration, they heard the buzz or the ringing, and part of their mind said, oh, this must be interesting. What is it? What could it be? And their math problem came back. How long do you think it came? It had to wait until it went up. So you're solving math problems. This is your skill of the speed in which you solve math problems. There's a phone is buzzing or ringing, and your quality of solving math problem goes down because part of your mind is occupied and you're not fully distracted. And then the ring goes away. how long does it take for your skill, your ability to solve, not skill, but your ability to solve math problem to come back up again? It takes slightly longer than 15 minutes. Now, it's not for 15 minutes like this and then go up. It slowly goes up, but it takes a long time. Why? Because we feel that we're multitaskers. We're not. We feel that we can go, oh, let me think about this, let me come back. No, but it actually takes us a while to come back. It takes us very quickly to get distracted, to move to another task. It takes us a really long time to come back to something, which is just another reason why we need to really take control over our attention. So, the good coffee and to doing much more to gain control of our attention. We have very few hours a day in which we're highly productive, flow states, thinking, doing things the right way. Let's protect those times. We don't have enough of it. Let's protect it. Okay, bye for now.